Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. It's Carolyn. I'm an empath and psychic, and for today's video we're going to be looking at your numerology. Specifically, we're going to be looking at your year number. And so for those of you who don't know what numerology is basically the math of the universe. That's kind of the way that I explain it to people. And so it's like how we all have astrology charts, we all have our numerology charts, and they tell us different things about our personality. And especially when you use your numerology and astrology chart together, you can really start to understand yourself. And so for numerology, there's so many different numbers that we factor in for a numerology chart, and one of those numbers is our current year number. And so the way you find this number is you're going to take your birthday and the birth month, and you're going to add that with the current year. So we are currently in 2022. So for instance, let's say that you're born on January 11th, you're going to take 1, and then you're going to take 11, which is going to reduce to 2 because it's 1 plus 1, and then you're going to take 2022. And so 2022 reduces to 6 because when you add 2 plus 2 plus 2, that is how you get number 6. So when you are doing the math for your year ahead number, you can either add all the numbers together or you can reduce them individually. I'm going to put some visuals up on the sides so that you can kind of understand how I'm doing it, and I'm going to be using January 11th as my example. So if you are born on January 11th, then you're going to have 1, and then you are going to have number 2 and number 6. So then when you add them all together, you get number 9. So that's how you find your current year number. And now I'm going to explain kind of what your current year number means, because a lot of you, especially if you're new to numerology, it's great that you now know your number, but if you don't know what it means for you and what it means for your year, it doesn't do you any good. And so the way that numerology works is you go from number 1 to number 9. Everything reduces down to it. And basically the way that you get to those numbers is just by reducing numbers down. So the same way that 2022 is reduced to 6, if we go to last year, 2021 would be reduced to a number 5. Basically you were just taking the 2 digits in the number, or however many digits are in it, and you're adding them together until you get a number 1 through 9. There are more like starseed numbers, karmic debt numbers, that are a little bit different. They can be like repeating digits, but that's going to be for other parts of your numerology chart and not relevant to today's topic of your current year. If you want to see more numerology videos, I would love to do more for you, so just let me know in the YouTube comments down below. And also, if you're not already subscribed, welcome. I would love to have you a part of this family, so please hit subscribe and turn on that bell notification so you see when I post my next video. I post multiple videos every week, including more educational videos like this, and I also post readings. So I do pick a pile readings, zodiac readings, and collective readings. And I also do unboxing videos of different tarot and oracle decks. And so now I'm going to go ahead and explain numbers 1 through 9 and what they mean for your current year. So those of you who have a current year of number 1 is an energy that is all about new opportunities and beginnings. Number 1 basically starts the cycle, and it goes from 1 to 9. So it's the beginning of a new cycle, and it can kind of influence you for the next 9 years. So a lot of the things that you are going to be starting this year could be something that's a part of your life for a long time. It could be planting those seeds. Another thing about number 1 is that it is a very independent energy, and it's a very individual energy. And so in a year number 1, you're not going to be following others. You're not going to be bossed around or pushed around by others. You're going to be really trying to focus on yourself and doing your own thing and doing what you want. And this is a great year to take action in your life. This is a great year if you are wanting to do things differently, do them your own way. You can really enhance that energy. You can really step into that energy. And it's a great year for you to really do things that you want by bringing opportunities to you and manifesting things and bringing them into your life. Even if they take a long time, it's like opening up that door, finally doing something that you never did before. And so this is a really great year for positive change. Number 1 really focuses a lot with the mind, so this can be a change in your mindset, and that overall is going to be affecting your life. And so when you do have a number 1 for your current year, it means that you're going to really be able to take action and do things that are new and do things that you never really tried before. It's a year to really get a chance to try out different opportunities and bring things into your life and figure out what you want to do, figure out what feels authentic to you. And so it's a really great year for starting new things and having a lot of new opportunities come your way. So those of you with a current year number of 2 is an energy that is all about duality and balance. And so the thing about a year 2 is that it kind of doesn't mean that there's going to be a lot lot going on. This can kind of be a year where things feel a lot slower, and you might feel frustrated because you might feel like you want to take action and not have the tools to do so. And the reason for it is that 2 is when things come into balance. And because you just came from a year 1, there was a lot of opportunities coming your way, and they need to take time to settle. And so now that your life is balancing out, it might feel like things are slowing down, but it's not in a bad way. This is definitely going to be a year where a lot of the things are going on behind the scenes, because if we think about tarot, the high priestess is also represented by number 2. So it's a really good year to connect with yourself and with your intuition. It's about balancing the masculine and the feminine energy. And so with number 2, this is a great year for emotional connections. So getting to know yourself better, getting to understand yourself, and really being able to form deeper connections with others, where now you are able to network for work, make those connections, have deeper friendships, and even start new relationships. This is a really great year for you to fuel those relationships and spend time with the people that you care about, and actually have a balance where you have a support system that you can rely on. Number 2 is really a year in which there's going to be a lot of balance. So it also means that there could be a lot of good things coming your way, as far as bringing a little bit more stability into your life and allowing you to accept other opportunities that are going to help you create a better foundation for your life. Number 2 is also a great number because of that duality, that sometimes with that duality, it's like the light and the dark are working together. So it is also a year where you have to understand and accept some flaws in your life, some flaws with yourself, and learn to embrace them as a part of you, not try to change yourself or hide yourself. You can make adaptations to your life, but when it comes to our shadow side, we need to see ourselves for who we truly are and not bury our heads in the sand, because that's not how we're going to grow. So this is really a year about acceptance for yourself, and finding deeper connections with people where you accept their flaws, and you either find a way to set boundaries with people, or you find ways to work past your issues. This is a really great year. If there have been any fallings out with people, or if you've been wanting to make the peace with someone, you could definitely do that this year. It feels like there's a lot of energy working with you to try and create peace and create harmony and balance in your life. This is really a great year if you are in a separation with someone, or you've been trying to make the peace with them. This would be a really great year to try and fix that relationship, because of that duality with number 2. It's about trying to form balance and bring harmony into your life, and that's what you really want to focus on during a year number 2, is that this is a year to try and find a solution, try and find a peace offering, or a way that is going to make you satisfied with your life, and also be able to understand things on a more emotional level, and in turn understand yourself on a deeper level as well, and really get in sync with your intuition and what your actual emotions are telling you, and not letting fear drive you. And so this is a really great year as far as connection on all levels of your life. So those of you who have a current year number of 3 is kind of what I consider the toddler number. And I say it because kind of how a toddler is very curious and asking a lot of questions, that's going to be you during this year 3. You're going to be wanting to know answers or gain insight. This is a really great year for those of you who are in school, or who have been wanting to go back to school, or maybe go into a different profession, because you're really going to be able to learn by doing things and by being thrown into the deep end, kind of the way a toddler has to learn all these different things, like how to walk, and it just does it by doing it, and when they fall down they get back up. So this is going to be a really resilient year for you. Number 3 is really about exploration and discovery, and so there's discovery within yourself, but there's also discovery of the world and others. This could be a year in which you are going to be moving, or you're going to be traveling, and it's really just your year to take in knowledge, and to really understand things on a deeper level, and connect with others in a more friendly and sociable way, because the same way a toddler is going to go up to people, that's going to be you just trying to be friends with everyone, having a more bubbly experience than you have in previous years. It's not saying your whole personality is going to change, but you're going to be more receptive to being more social and doing things that are outside of your comfort zone. It's really going to be a year for growth. You're going to be pushing yourself more, and so this is really a good year to just have fun and try different things out, see what you like, see what you don't like, and really discover more about yourself yourself and about your own personality. And this is a really good year for those of you who are in relationships to deepen those relationships, and also those of you who are single, you could be finding someone during this year, because this is really a year about discovering and doing things that you typically wouldn't, and sometimes that leads us to being in the right place at the right time. One thing I want to point out with this year 3 being about exploration is that sometimes we also look for answers and we don't necessarily love the answer. So just because it's a year of discovery doesn't mean that everything you discover is going to be what you want to hear. This could also be a year in which a lot of truths are revealed, and you're going to have to adapt. You're going to have to adjust your life as a result of it. Another thing you want to keep note of during this year 3 is that your intuition is going to be heightened, because the same way that a kid is a really good judge of character, that's going to be you with your intuition. So you want to make sure that you pay attention to it, and that when you see red flags, you acknowledge that and you adjust your life to protect yourself. Because when you fall down, you're going to be able to get back up, but if you can prevent yourself from having these issues in the first place, that's going to be very wise. So those of you who have a current year number of number 4, 4 is a year of stability and structure. And so the way that I explain number 4 is that it is the foundation. And so let's say that you are building something and you want to have a good foundation for it to build more things upon it. So this is your year to get that stability. This is going to be a really great year when it comes to your career, either switching into a more stable job or having more stable finances as far as your money goes, or your home life stability, especially those of you where you are wanting a family. This could be a year in which you are having changes in your relationships that are moving towards that, like a proposal or maybe moving in together. This could be a year where you are starting to have kids, where you are really building that foundation for the life that you want. So this is going to be a year in which maybe there's not too many changes, but the changes that you are making are leading to a more stable life. But this also means, because it's about stability, that anything that is unstable in your life or that is not meant for you is going to be disappearing from your life during this year. So if there's someone in your life that you're holding on to that you need to let go of, you're going to be forced to let go of them, and that might not be so much fun. And this could also be a year where something that you wanted doesn't come into your life because it wasn't meant for you. And so with that being said, this is really a year to acknowledge that what's meant for you is not going to pass you by, and that if something's really meant for you, you're going to get it again. And so allow yourself to let go of things. Don't hold on to things during this year. Just work with what you have and adapt. And as you adjust to the changes during this year, you're going to see that things are becoming a lot more stable and favorable for you. This is definitely a year in which you want to be making smart choices and making a little bit more logical long-term choices. This year is going to be one that might not be so eventful, especially those of you who are in alignment, where you have already a pretty stable life. This is going to be a year where that's just being enhanced, and where you are setting up long-term goals to actually come into fruition. And so it's going to be a very productive year for you, even if it doesn't always feel that way. And also some of you might not see it because a lot of things might be going on behind the scenes. So those of you who have a current year number of 5, this is a number of change, and oftentimes change can bring a bit of chaos. And so following that maybe not so eventful year 4, year 5 can really be a year where there are some challenges, there are some hiccups in the road. And the thing about change is that it's not always bad. Sometimes change is positive, but a lot of times our mindset with change is afraid, and that causes us to create bigger issues out of it. So if you're currently in a year 5, don't freak out. It doesn't mean that there's going to be negative changes happening to your life. It just means that this is kind of your caterpillar to butterfly year. There's going to be a lot of changes. It's going to be a very fast-moving year where you might have a lot of different things happening to you. And so what I would suggest is just be ready for it, be prepared for it. And if you embrace these changes, you're going to see that they pay off in the end, and that sometimes things can look a bit chaotic and then in the end work out. So don't freak out until things are set in stone, until they're done, because a lot of the times there's so many things that go on in our lives that if we just wait them out, we actually realize they weren't as bad as we thought. And so that's kind of what's going on with this year for you. With a year 5, this is your caterpillar to butterfly phase, where it's like, okay, you're going to go into this cocoon. You're not knowing what it's going to lead to. You don't know the plan, but you're trusting in the process and you're trusting in yourself. And then then you're going to emerge as this beautiful butterfly. You're going to have so many good things happening to you, and you're going to have so many good things in your life, but you need to go through this process in order to get it. This also could be a year in which there are a lot of challenges and obstacles that you are learning to overcome, and that is going to help you become a lot tougher and a lot smarter with different aspects in your life. And so this is definitely a year to prepare for the worst, in the sense of, like, if you feel like something's not going to go your way, don't try and hold on to what you had, but try and find a plan out of it. Try and find a solution, and by doing that, you're going to be embracing the change but also preparing for it, and that's going to help you succeed with this year. But this is really a year for a lot of change, and depending on how you're living your life and what you're doing with your life, it's going to be positive or negative change. But the thing about change is, even if we have some negative things happen to us, we can always pick ourselves back up. We can always move forward. And so don't allow this year to freak you out. Don't allow it to scare you, because it's going to be so nuanced for everyone, because change can mean so many different things to so many different people. But this is really just a year in which there is going to be a lot of self-growth, and you're going to be learning a lot of different things about you and learning how you can navigate different situations. This is really a year in which you are learning to become adaptable, and learning to have patience, and learning to have all these skills that maybe you don't have yet. And if you do have them, you're learning to enhance them and rely on them. This is a great year to be very mindful, and to just like be present in the moment with whatever is going on, and then make plans as far as you can that are adaptable, that are adjustable. So while these changes occur, you are also changing your plan. That's going to be the best way to get through this year for you. So those of you with the current year number of 6 to me is always a number that I associate with the heart chakra. And I know that number 6 is not associated with the heart chakra as far as the actual number for it, but to me, when I think of number 6, it is really about having that like balance with your loved ones, and having that connection with them, and having like peace and happiness with your life, and having a lot of love for everything in your life. And so when number 6 is your current year number, this is really going to be a great year as far as like your family and your loved ones, spending time with them. This year might be a year that's a little bit slower paced, maybe not as eventful as the previous year 5, but still be very good and fulfilling for you. This is really going to be a year in which you are getting back to your roots, getting back to what you truly love, doing things that really make you happy and make you fulfilled. And a lot of you who are really close with your family, I think you're going to be spending more time with them during this year. This is really a year to like focus on everything that you love, and really be able to connect with others and bring balance. And so especially those of you where you haven't been able to find a balance between your home life and your work life, this is going to be the year to do so. I sense that you might be spending more time at home and doing more mundane tasks, because they're going to be bringing you a lot more joy and fulfillment. This is really going to be a year in which you are being productive. You are bringing things into your life, but you are also being reasonable with the things you're doing, where you're taking on more responsibilities in a productive way. This is a year in which you are being very stable and logical with what you're doing, and you're continuing to grow your life in a way that is actually making sense and fulfilling to you. Instead of just doing things for others, it's like you are doing things that you want and actually making the peace that you want. This is going to be a year in which you can actually achieve a lot of peace and a lot of happiness with your life. I also feel like for those of you where you are in a relationship, this could be a year in which you are getting married, or doing other things as far as like renewing your vows or forming a deeper connection with your loved ones. This is really going to be a year in which you feel like you are getting to do everything you want to do. You're finding that good balance, and it feels like things are going to feel a bit slow paced, but that's good for you. It feels like a lot of things are calming down from the previous year. This is also going to be a really good year for reconciliations with anyone, and being able to find that peace between you and them. And this is also going to be a year in which if there's any issues with your marriage or your relationship, you might be ending it. You might be separating it. And that's because year 6 is really about you getting back to what you love and acknowledging what you don't love. And so if you have things in your life that are not in alignment for you, that your heart's just not with it, you're not going to hold on to them. You're not going to keep them in your life. And so this is going to be a very productive year for showing you what's truly important important to you and what's not important to you, and actually taking action on that to make your life the most authentic it can be. So with the current year number of 7, this is a great year for introspection and reflection, and it's kind of like the Hermit card from tarot, where it's really about like inward work and healing yourself and learning how to deal with things in a more productive and better way. And it's really a great year for reflection. So there's going to be a lot of inner healing done this year. This year is really going to focus on your own self-growth and also your own self-love, and making sure that you're taking care of yourself in the best way that you can. A year 7 is really going to be more mental and spiritual. This could also be a year in which you are finding some form of religion, or you are getting more into a community in which you share the same beliefs. This is also a great year for like inner travels, and so you could be traveling in your real life as a result of it so that you learn more. This is a really good year for you to be doing like a lot of work within yourself to try and grow and become a better person. This is also going to be a year in which you're facing your shadow and you are accepting who you are and you are healing who you are. You're changing things about your life so that you're living a life that feels better for you. This is going to be a year in which there's a lot of lifestyle changes, and there is going to be a big shift with your energy and what you spend time doing and who you hang out with. Your environment may be changing as well as a result, because you're really going to be taking time to be more mindful and to be doing things with a purpose and a reason behind it. This is really going to be a year in which you are attracting opportunities to you, in which you are going to grow from, and you are going to be able to connect with others as a result from, because you are trying to form more of a community. And so this is a really great year when it comes to any like work you want to do on yourself, any changes you want to make to your lifestyle, and do things that are more in alignment for you and that are going to make you feel a lot better about your life. This is really a year in which to like face everything and see what needs to change in order for you to become a better person. And it's really going to be a year that's more focused on you, with some changes to your external world. So for current year number 8, 8 is a number that is literally like the infinity symbol. So when 8 appears in numerology, it really represents a lot of manifestations and a lot of ambition and drive and passion and motivation. So 8 is going to be a year in which you are very motivated and you're going to be extremely busy trying to bring all these manifestations into your life. A year 8 means it's going to be extremely productive for you. You're going to be doing a lot of things that you want to do, and this is going to be great for all your manifestations to come into your life. So this is really all areas of your life. So this could be your career, your love life, your family, even with yourself and your own self journey. This is going to be a year in which you are manifesting results and bringing things into your life. This is really a year of achievement and success, and so there could be a lot of rewards or recognition for you or the work that you are doing. A lot of people are going to notice you during this year. This could also be a good year as far as getting others to notice you on a social media platform, because you are really attracting a lot of attention. With a year 8, this brings a lot of happiness, because you are achieving so much, but it also can make you feel very busy. So this is going to be a year in which you might be doing a lot of work and facing some burnout as a result. So definitely make sure that you're taking time to slow down when you need to, and that you're actually taking care of yourself, because it's so easy to get so caught up in the accomplishments that you lose sight of yourself and taking care of yourself properly. So make sure that you are finding balance with everything that you're doing. This is also going to be a great year for you to gain more confidence and self-sufficiency, because you're not going to be having as many self-limiting beliefs. It's a really great year to break down those self-limiting beliefs where you no longer have them control you, because 8 being that infinity symbol, it's kind of like you have infinite potential and you can do anything you want to do, and you don't need to cap your success. You don't need to put a limit on yourself. And so as a result of it, being in year 8, you're going to have that motivation and inspiration to dream big and go after them and not feel like you have to hold yourself back. Really embrace the fact that you can do anything, that you can get anything. Yes, it might take some hard work. Yes, you might need somewhat of a plan, but nothing is impossible if you have the steps calculated to get it. And this is really going to be your year to start that plan, bring it into action, and actually get what you want. And so overall, a year 8 is a very productive and happy and successful year for you, and you're going to be achieving a lot of the things that you want want to achieve. On some level, there's going to be some big reward coming into your life that you are going to be very grateful for. So if you have a current year number of 9, this means that you are going to be very supportive and like giving back to some community of some sort. So this could be like the community of the people you love and you care about. You're going to be very supportive to them. You're going to be uplifting them. You're going to be helping them on some level. Some of you, this is going to be a really great year to give back to your actual community and spend time with them and really connect with them, because 9 is a number about like completion and kind of like the final number before you start a new cycle with 1 again. And so it's really about like spending time with the people that you care about and like giving back and really like reaping the benefit of your reward and sharing that with others. And so because you have a current year number of 9, this means that this is a year in which you are going to have a lot of things come into fruition. Anything that you've been waiting on is going to reach some sort of conclusion, and you're going to be able to use that to your advantage in some way or another, because some results, they're going to be things that we need to let go of, that we need to release. When there's a finale, it's kind of like we have to let some things go that we can't hold on to for the next cycle. But then there's going to be other things that you take with you and bring into this next cycle. And so it's going to be something that's going to be different for all of you, but it's really a year in which there's a lot of things coming into your life that are kind of wrapping things up and moving along to prepare you for the next year. And so you're really going to be spending time with the people you love and you care about, so that you can kind of feel fulfilled by the things that you have done and that you have accomplished. This really is a year in which you are going to energetically be feeling complete. And because of that, it's like you are sharing that energy with others. You are helping others in some way. And so that's why you're going to be very supportive and getting back to a community-based level where you can actually be there for others, because you know what it's like to have that support. And so it's like you're giving to others as well. This is definitely going to be a year in which there is a lot of things going on in your life, because there's so many things that are wrapping up. There's going to be a lot of lessons that you are learning or finally understanding. And so this is really going to be a year where there is a lot of completion, and as a result there's a lot of inner growth, but there is also a shared growth between you and the people in your life, because you are all working together. There's a lot of teamwork during this year. And so year 9 is really a year about completion and being rewarded for everything that you have done. And this is really going to be a year to focus on enjoying this year for what it is before you move on to the next cycle of your life. And so really be present in the moment for this year 9, and that's how you're going to make it one of your best years. So I really hope that you found this video entertaining and that it helped you. Let me know what your year number is down in the YouTube comments down below. And let me know if you want to see any more numerology videos like this. I'm going to have more videos of mine linked in the cards above if you want to watch them next. And I can't wait to see you all in my next video. Make sure you're subscribed and turn that bell notification so you see when I post my next video. And I can't wait to see you all then. I hope you have a good one. Bye.